I mean, the most amazing aspect of our culture right now is the supersize. In fact, there was a movie about it. It was pretty humorous, in fact, but it is incredible what candy bars have done over the years, what French fries, what the calorically dense foods have expanded into literally week-long meals, but they're eaten at one sitting.
What's even more incredible, if you look at the amount of calories that has actually created the obesity epidemic, it only is about 250 calories extra per day over the last 30 years per average person. It doesn't take much. So it's small amounts of food are cumulative, and they can have a huge impact. So 250 calories, that could be like a sugar donut. So essentially, we've created the obesity epidemic by everyone who was involved in the obesity epidemic having a daily sugar donut. And that's been the difference. So if everyone would take that sugar donut out of their diet, we'd revert back to 30 years ago. And this is based on average caloric intake. As the BMI has gone up, as the obesity epidemic has occurred, we've looked at what people are eating. It's not that much extra. So yeah, supersize it. You're going to one of these restaurants that gives you large portions. That's impressive. But really, what's made the difference is just a constant, low-grade, higher amount of calories per day, as little as 250 calories per day, can lead to obesity. Now, what I try to teach is one of the things I do teach is a system known as food awareness, and this involves making better choices. So, if you can look at the first slide that I put up there, it's really amazing. But this is from a book, and it shows on the that would be the left-hand side, I guess, my left, the muffin. And that's, I think, 720 calories. And on the right-hand side is a huge amount of food, fruit. And you look at it first, and when you read the details, you say, oh my gosh, 720 calories for the muffin and 720 calories for all that food? Well, that's true. It's not an optical illusion. It's actually absolutely true. So what you're seeing here is a demonstration of hidden calories, of food density, calorie density. And what I try to do is, part of my program is to show people ways that after they teach themselves these things, and it's not hard to learn, that as a little extra calories per day can lead to obesity, a little less calories a day can lead to normalization of weight. So if you look at the second slide, people say, well, if I have to go on a diet, the joy of life is going to be gone. I won't be able to have any chocolate. I love chocolate. Well, okay, so here's an example where a dish of premium ice cream is 300 calories, but you notice there's like 12 chocolate-flavored either sorbets or chocolate-flavored tofu or protein bars. Maybe not as equally as delicious as the ice cream, but it could work. I could have that sometimes. I don't have to have the ice cream all the time. And by the way, that one cup of ice cream is equal to the 15 plums. How many plums can you eat at a time? Would 3 plums be enough to satisfy you for dessert sometime, as opposed to that cup of ice cream at maybe 1/8 the calories? Next slide. This is another amazing example, the nuts. Now, nuts. I go nuts when people come to me and tell me that nuts are healthy for you. Well, 5 nuts are healthy for you. They have the omega-3s, and they are healthy. And there's epidemiological evidence that nut eaters, people who eat nuts, have less sudden death, cardiac arrhythmias, all sorts of good things. Nuts are great. But nuts have high calories. In fact, when you talk about good fats and bad fats, whether you're talking about lard or olive oil, when we talk about the health of one fat versus the other, we're talking about the cardiovascular effects. So olive oil does not gum up your arteries where lard does, but all fat, good or bad, has a lot of calories in it. So in that case that I was showing, if you can go back to the nuts and the potatoes, 1 cup of nuts is equivalent to about 8 baked potatoes without the sour cream on it. So how fast can you go through a cup of nuts? Real fast, especially if you're not thinking. The next little example, and this again is all food awareness. The next example, people say, well, I have to give up pizza. All right. Well, 2 pieces of pizza is 900 calories. That's a calorie-dense item. But you can have 1 piece of pizza, a salad, and a soup for 600 calories. Now, you're saving 300 calories. Remember I told you the obesity epidemic is 300 calories a day, 250 calories a day continuously. So if a person is trained or teaches themselves that I don't have to give up everything, but I can make good choices day in, day out, where I kind of keep the calories lower and lower and lower, the trimming down will occur. And this has nothing to do with Atkins. This has nothing to do with any particular diet. This is just good nutritional knowledge and how to make going on a lower calorie diet work for you, not only in the short term, but in the long term.
Certainly the calories